The Bible tells us in Exodus 15, it talks about Pharaoh's chariots and his host hath he cast into the sea.
The depths of the Red Sea usually yield vibrant marine life or modern shipwrecks, but one team of salvage divers found something far older. Imagine a Pharaoh's chariot, not in a museum, but submerged for millennia.
This shows a chariot wheel. There's approximately 20,000. We've collected a couple of horses' hoofs.
This discovery alone would shake the world. But it was what lay beside it, shrouded in the ancient darkness, that turned their triumph into a terrifying ordeal. An unseen presence pulled them into a struggle against an overwhelming, mysterious power. But what it promised to uncover was a truth far stranger than fiction. The Golden Glimmer. The vast, sapphire expanse of the Red Sea holds secrets beneath its waves, mysteries whispered through centuries by passing winds and ancient mariners. For millennia, tales of lost civilizations and legendary treasures have fueled the imaginations of adventurers, but few could have prepared a team of modern salvage divers for the sheer, jaw-dropping reality that awaited them. You see, it began like any other deep-sea expedition. A routine survey 50 miles off the Egyptian coast where the seabed plunged to depths of over 200 feet. The target was a suspected ancient trading route, a place where history's currents might have deposited forgotten relics. But what they found was no mere relic. It was a perfectly preserved Pharaoh's chariot, a stunning piece of ancient Egyptian engineering lying silently on the sandy bottom. This wasn't just a discovery, it was a portal to a time long past. The initial sonar readings had been unusual, indicating a large, organized metallic structure that seemed completely out of place. Many people are crazy about finding treasure, and the buzz on the salvage vessel, the Triton's Spear, was palpable. As the remotely operated vehicle, or ROV, descended, its powerful lights cut through the abyssal gloom. Then a gasp echoed across the control room. The feed showed an unmistakable form, a two-wheeled chariot, its wooden frame miraculously intact, encrusted with centuries of marine growth but still recognizable. The most shocking fact is that it wasn't just one chariot. As the ROV moved, more appeared, lined up in what looked like a submerged procession. This wasn't a single item lost at sea, it was an entire contingent, swallowed by the waves in a moment of ancient catastrophe. The team, led by veteran diver Captain Elias Thorne, knew immediately they had stumbled upon something monumental. The chariot's bronze fittings gleamed even under the thick layer of marine life. To put it mildly, it was an archaeological miracle. The incredible conditions of the Red Sea, with its warm, clear, and highly saline waters, create a unique environment that can surprisingly preserve organic materials for thousands of years. This particular spot, tucked away in a deep trench, had protected these treasures from strong currents and further degradation. This meant that the oxygen levels were probably very low, preventing rapid decay. What many overlooked is that these conditions, while preserving history, can also create unpredictable and dangerous diving environments. The team prepared for their first human descent. 4 divers, including lead archaeologist Dr. Eris Thorne, Elias's daughter, were to make the perilous journey. The plan was simple: visually confirm the findings and take initial measurements. The descent was methodical, each diver carefully monitoring their gear. As they approached the 210-foot mark, the outlines of the chariots became clearer, their shapes appearing ghost-like in the submersible's powerful lights. This was history, raw and untouched. They counted at least 20 chariots, some overturned, others standing upright as if frozen in motion. Then they saw it. Beside the chariots, stretching out for perhaps 100 feet, was something else. A vast, dark, undulating mass covered in the same marine growth. It was too large to be another piece of a wreck, too organic to be rock. As the divers cautiously approached, a strange, almost electric tension filled the water. Elias, with decades of experience, felt a primal unease. He signaled to Eris to keep a safe distance, but curiosity, you see, is a powerful force. As Eris moved her light across the colossal form, it briefly illuminated a section that was smoother, less encrusted. It was impossibly large, and that's when the water around them began to move. A sudden, powerful current, seemingly out of nowhere, began to tug at them. This wasn't a gentle drift, it was a strong, unyielding pull threatening to tear them from their anchor points and drag them deeper. The divers fought against it, but the current intensified, grabbing their gear, forcing air from their regulators. The thing nobody tells you is how quickly a calm underwater environment can turn hostile. It was as if the very seabed had shifted. The massive dark mass beside the Chariot seemed to shimmer, and for a fleeting moment, Eris swore she saw an eye-like shape staring back from the gloom. This unprecedented surge of current was unlike anything they'd ever encountered. It felt less like a natural phenomenon and more like an active rejection, a silent guardian stirring beneath the waves. What colossal thing was stirring so violently, and what new terror would it unleash? The Red Sea's ancient guardians. The harrowing escape left the divers shaken but determined. The Triton's spear crew was a seasoned lot, but the sheer force of the current, which had registered as a sudden localized burst of over 8 knots, was unprecedented. It was far beyond typical Red Sea currents, which usually average 1 to 2 knots. This wasn't just bad luck, it felt like a warning. What many overlooked is that the geology of the Red Sea is incredibly dynamic. It's part of the Great Rift Valley, a place where tectonic plates are constantly pulling apart, creating deep trenches and active hydrothermal vents. These geological instabilities could potentially trigger localized, powerful water movements. But not all things are what they seem, and the timing felt too coincidental to be purely natural. Back on board, Eris and Elias reviewed the ROV footage. The chariots themselves were a monumental find, confirming long-held theories about a catastrophic event in ancient Egyptian history, perhaps even the legendary crossing and subsequent destruction of a pharaoh's army. Imagine the sheer power of an army of chariots, the peak military technology of their time, being swallowed by the sea. Each chariot was a masterpiece, constructed from lightweight wood, leather, and bronze, designed for speed and agility. Finding 20 of them almost perfectly preserved was like finding a fully armored division from 3,000 years ago. The details were astonishing. Traces of gilded bronze still visible, and even remnants of what appeared to be leather harness fittings. These chariots would have weighed, on average, around 150 pounds. The presence of so many chariots in one place strongly suggested a mass event, not individual losses. The historical implications were staggering. While the story of a pharaoh's army being lost in the Red Sea is woven into various ancient texts, archaeological evidence has always been scarce. This discovery offered tantalizing, almost irrefutable proof, but the mystery intensified when they focused on the colossal object that lay beside them. The ROV's advanced sensors struggled to define its true nature. It was roughly oval-shaped, about 300 feet long and 60 feet wide. Its density readings were erratic, suggesting a composite structure, part organic, part metallic, perhaps even stone. And you can see this everywhere in tales of grand ancient finds. Often the biggest secrets are guarded by the most unexpected things. What hidden dangers would this ancient behemoth reveal? The Colossus's secret. With the crew cautious yet determined, the next dive aimed to unravel the mystery of the colossal structure. This time, enhanced safety protocols were in place, including a larger ROV capable of deploying sonar buoys to monitor currents in real time. Eris, driven by science, theorized that the object might be an undiscovered ancient monument, perhaps a submerged temple or a unique burial site. What many overlooked is that during past glacial periods, sea levels were considerably lower, potentially exposing vast stretches of land that are now hundreds of feet underwater. This raises the fascinating possibility that ancient coastal settlements or structures could have been slowly submerged over millennia. The divers descended again, this time with a heightened sense of caution. As they approached the site, the scale of the object became even more impressive. It wasn't just large, it was immense, dwarfing the ancient chariots scattered around its base. The new ROV, equipped with advanced manipulators, carefully scraped away some of the marine growth. What lay beneath was a dark, obsidian-like stone, incredibly smooth with faint, almost imperceptible etchings. These weren't hieroglyphs. They were something different, geometrical patterns that seemed to pulse with an inner light when the ROV's focused beam hit them. The most shocking fact is that these patterns seem to resonate with a low-frequency hum picked up by the ROV's hydrophones, a sound that was both alien and ancient. This wasn't merely a rock, this was a sophisticated artificial construct. The composition of the stone was unlike anything known to ancient Egypt. The sheer precision of the etchings pointed to a level of craftsmanship beyond what was thought possible for that era. The thing nobody tells you is that throughout history there have been whispers of advanced ancient civilizations and forgotten technologies. Could this be a piece of that puzzle? A fragment of a lost world like Atlantis? The idea, to put it mildly, was wild, but the evidence was staring them in the face. This object was clearly not natural, and its properties defied easy explanation. Dr. Eris Thorne carefully collected a small sample using the ROV's specialized drill. What hidden mechanisms were capable of unleashing such destructive forces? The ocean's mysteries. The analysis of the strange material from the colossal structure confirmed their wildest suspicions. It was unlike anything known to natural terrestrial geology. The crystalline matrix, when examined under electron microscopy, displayed a fractal geometry that seemed to shift and reconfigure in response to electromagnetic stimuli. It wasn't merely inert matter, it behaved like a complex circuit board on a molecular level. The lab reports were filled with phrases like non-local quantum coherence and zero-point energy resonance, terms that belonged more in theoretical physics than archaeology. This wasn't magic, you see, but a technology so advanced it might as well have been. Ancient texts often describe incredible feats and technologies: flying chariots, weapons that could level cities, arcs that held the genesis of life, which modern science dismisses as myth and metaphor. But what if some of those myths held kernels of truth, distorted through the lens of a pre-scientific culture? This structure suggested a deep knowledge of physics and material science that would challenge even 21st century understanding. The idea that this structure could actively generate currents was, to put it mildly, terrifying, but it was only the beginning. The divers remembered the feeling of being pulled and spun, a sensation far beyond a mere undertow. One reported a low, humming vibration that seemed to penetrate his very bones, while another spoke of fleeting, disorienting visual distortions in the water around the object, as if light itself were being bent. Could it be that the structure itself was a kind of ancient defense mechanism, or was it something more? One of the more radical theories proposed by the team's astrophysicist was that the object wasn't just manipulating water, it was subtly warping local space-time. The energy fields it generated might be a byproduct of a far more profound function, perhaps a navigational beacon, a power source for a long-vanished city, or most unsettlingly, a containment field for something sealed away deep beneath the seabed. The team expanded their research, diving into obscure legends surrounding the Red Sea. They unearthed references to sea guardians and waterbinders, constructs said to protect sacred places beneath the waves. While such tales are often dismissed as folklore, the undeniable reality of the massive power-generating structure lying 200 feet down gave these legends a chilling new weight. What many overlooked is that across different cultures and continents, ancient flood myths and stories of submerged cities like Atlantis or Mu are remarkably similar. These narratives almost universally speak of a highly advanced, hubristic civilization brought low by a cataclysm, its wonders sinking beneath the waves. Could these universal narratives be echoes of a real, shared history? Perhaps the structure wasn't just local to the Red Sea. What if it was part of a global network of similar artifacts? A planetary defense grid left behind by a civilization that predates our own recorded history. A civilization that faced a threat we cannot even imagine. This line of thinking opened the door to even wilder speculation. Could the builders have been non-human? The sheer scale of the architecture, seemingly forged rather than built, defied conventional human construction methods even with modern technology. The absence of any recognizable script or iconography was equally baffling. It was as if the creators had no need for such things, communicating through direct energetic or telepathic means. The theory of an extraterrestrial origin, once relegated to sensationalist television shows, was now being discussed in hushed tones in the research vessel's briefing room. Perhaps this was a relic of a seeding event, a piece of technology left by ancient astronauts to guide or protect nascent life on Earth. Or a darker thought crept in. Perhaps it wasn't a gift, but a cage, a marker, or even a tomb. The challenge of salvaging the chariots, let alone further investigating the structure, now seemed almost insurmountable. The fear wasn't just of equipment malfunction. It was of the unseen, unpredictable power the object itself possessed. Every attempt to deploy larger recovery equipment was met with inexplicable glitches. Submersibles would lose all power upon approach, their systems rebooting with wiped navigation logs. Sonar scans returned impossible data, showing the structure as both impossibly vast and not there at all simultaneously. This discovery in the Red Sea forces us to rethink everything. Were these ancient powers real, or just the ocean's way of guarding its past? Like and subscribe for more, and tell us, do you think humanity is ready for such profound truths?